Alrighty, welcome everybody to the stream. Uh, we're now live. You're catching us on a new map, new No Man's Land. We're very similar to the Bessie Beneath kind of approach. We had $300,000 in debt, and we are now working our way out of that. We are $500,000 in debt at the moment, but it's been very structured. I have just sold a whole lot of grain and canola, that is, and canola bales, and I've just bought a harvester for nearly 400,000 in total. So I'm buying all the big equipment that I need, and I'm in fact going to go and buy another trailer now. So I just want to give the guys a heads up. Um, and tell them that I'm going to be doing that. So we're going to go and buy these little 21,000 liter trailers. I would rather have 3 of these trailers than one of the very big ones at the moment. I'm looking at getting something a little bit more substantial, but if I look here, 25 grand there gives me 42,000, or 50 grand there gives me 42,000, and 51 grand gives me 39,000. So it just makes sense to go with the smaller trailers and rather do a little bit of a convoy with them. So I'm going to buy 2 of these fellas, and I've got a big enough tractor, and let's just stick with the 2 of those. We are starting to take much bigger loads now. We had almost all of our equipment on lease, and we have now moved away from that, where we're not using any leased equipment anymore. So it's definitely been stepping up in the right direction. So I'm just going to go and unhook this in the dealership, sell it, and then roll away with my new trailers, and then go and sell some grain, some canola, and sell some bales. We have got probably I'd say about 12 or 13 20,000 liter bales on the field, so they just need to be collected. And we've got 100,000 liters. Let's just have a look quickly. 105,000 liters of canola. Now I'm switching things up a little bit, so I've got the harvester for it. So I want to go actually do corn, which means I need a corn header, and it means I need a cultivator to go and work the lands. But we've actually taken quite a substantial piece of land. So if you look at 42 and 32, these are essentially one big piece of land. We own 21, 22, 31, 32, and 41, 42. We have plowed this field over here, and we've just harvested that for grass. It's very mountainous, kind of hilly terrain, so you can't do too much that's going to require vehicles that have a lot of power. So that is a bit tricky. However, going that route, we're able to look at maybe putting in corn on 32, 42. I've got a little bit of canola that hasn't grown, but I'll sacrifice that. I'll plow up that little piece of land over there, and then I want to increase my my homestead, if you can call it, to take up a bit of a bigger piece of land over here. And then I want to plow this 21, 31, 41 properly. And I'm thinking I'm going to leave it under grass for now, but once it's plowed, it does put us in the position where we can make whatever decisions we want. Then we also then open up corn silage on 22, 32, 42, if we so choose. 22 is under grass at the moment, and it needs to be harvested. It's very spotty, so there isn't really much value, but I am going to go and take GPS and go and work those 2 lands. And I'm contemplating taking 11 and 12 as well, but I'll go and show you what they look like. They are very rough. This map has had all the trees stripped out of it, so we don't have too much, we don't have anything in terms of stumps or obstacles in the way, but it was built around a survivalist map, so it was built to be a logging map, but that's not what it turned out to be. So let's see how good my driving skills are. We can maybe get this all hooked. And nope, wrong way. That was worth a try. Normally what I would do in that type of situation is I would go from the side and ram the trailer in place and hook it like that. So if you guys have got 20 minutes to watch me learn how to drive, yeah, let's do that. Okay. Let's just straighten you out and go that way. No. These double articulated, triple pivoted trailers are always fun. Okay, that's perfect for what we need. No man, unhook the wrong thing. We're just gonna give that a little bit of a shove, and it will hook. We don't need to disconnect this again anytime in the near future, so it can just stay as is. There we go. Done. So that gives me 63,000 liters. Loading's not a problem with the silos that I've got. Unloading might be a little bit tricky, but because these can side tilt, it shouldn't be any kind of a problem. Have I got them all? Yes. Alright, hooked up. And then I've got my bale trailer here. And I'm just going to do a follow me. This has been set to be like a 4-meter offset, so it is. Let's just get a little bit of distance and change the offset. Right. Okay, let's go. So you can see in the background there, look at the terrain. Why? Alright, that should be fine. So if you look at the terrain, those are the fields up in the side there. You can see I can run the vehicles across it. There isn't too much of an issue with it, but it is a bit tricky. Let's get this all back in place and we can pick up all the straw and we can finish this job. I really have a problem. I've got a headset that is absolutely insane. It feels like my ears are getting ripped off every time I use the damn thing. Alright, let's go and have a look and see what we can do to get a little bit of pickup on our marketing. Alright, so I don't know if you guys could join for the radio stream. If you did, I really do appreciate it. We had a good show tonight. It was the 4-month anniversary for TSR, and yeah, I'm hoping that TSR, kind of grows through the years. Guys have been doing a great job so far. I will see how it goes, and keep an eye on it. So I'm only gonna go and sell one road train full of canola, and I'm gonna keep the rest so that I can, do a little bit of price watching with it. So it gives us now 61 tons will give us enough to go and buy all the toys we want. $1,300 a ton. So if we look at 61, so 6, 12, 18, so 78,000. Doable. give or take a bit, if my maths is right. It's paid for all the new equipment. Okay, then we've got a whole lot of silage bales. All our bales are wrapped at 20 tons. So we've get a load of 30 bales on a truck. So that's 600 tons. So 600 times anything is a decent amount of money. We're lucky we get 350 plus on a load. So I'm just going to park this fella over here. We will take that down a little bit later. We want to first go and collect the bales. So this tractor over here has not got, that does not have a front load on it. So this will be stuck. This can actually stay where it is. This guy over here can take forks. So I'm going to just get him to pick up the rest of the bales. Righty, there we go. My Discord just died. Bear with me while I get this tricky thing sorted out. It seems to not like when I go live, it keeps on crashing, so I'm just going to give it a restart. Doesn't seem too loud. Let's just amp it up just a little bit. The microphone seems to be fine. So if you look at the bales, I've just sold a whole lot of bales. Bales sold. So basically I had a trailer of 26 and then 30. So we're averaging $309 a bale. And then the grain we're looking at, we just dropped off a load of grain now. Canola. Oops. Pay attention to what you're doing and things don't go awry. Okay, we'll drop these next to each other. So, because this has got so much in terms of hills, I've started on the far side and I'll get more of it done soon enough. I've actually gone and put fences along my road. So I've got this road that separates the road that runs down there, and then I've got a road across that side. Because this is just all open fields, you know, if you don't put some kind of marking, you plow into other people's fields, because it tends to have a little bit of a tolerance where the maps overlap, and that is a little bit tricky. So put the roads in just so we have a clear separation. I've got a place where I drive. Crop destruction is enabled, so it causes a little bit of harm. So it's just protecting against all that kind of thing. So for those of you who have not entered yet, we are having a giveaway for the Alpine DLC, Alpine Farming DLC, and that will be given away at the end of this month. It will be a Giant's Key, so you would be able to use it anywhere in the world. It will not be usable in Steam. You would have to keep the product up to date and everything under your own power. But, that's neither here nor there. You just have to pay a little bit more attention. Pretend it's the old days, and that's how games were managed. Alrighty, so With me becoming an ambassador for Giant Software, at least in terms of Farming Simulator, I'm starting to get some insider information, I suppose you can call it, and it's all just stuff that I get a little bit ahead of anybody else. So you can expect that in line with the Giants announcements. I'm not going to do it ahead of theirs, but I'll have content that's customized to, my page and my way of doing things. Pretty much releasing the same information as they're releasing. So we just had some information released on Friday. Unfortunately, I missed that one a little bit, but it's all new content around alpine farming, and you can watch my channel just as much as you can watch the Giants channel, and you'll get pretty much the same information, just with weatherman flair. Hoping to see in the coming weeks, how this ambassador program works out and what it does for us. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of value for myself as well as for you, my followers. What you guys can see and what you can do. That's an interesting thing to do in a field. Let's just go and see what happened. Go and poke somebody in the ribs. Alright, I've just got to tell you guys the servers that I play on at the moment, unless it is my own server, and I'll clearly state that, is from a group of guys. You can go and have a look at their site, joinmgn.net. They really great group of guys, really good servers, well thought out, well structured. They have got a Discord channel where you can go and follow them and get into the conversation. You would spend 2 weeks with them on their open silage servers, and then once the 2 weeks are up and you haven't rocked anybody's boat, you can then go and join them and play on the member servers as I do. That's brilliant. I just Alrighty, so just going to jab somebody in the ribs a little bit. It's a nice thing about having Discord and the game server all at the same time. You get to, have lots of different channels of communication. It's a nice thing about having Discord and the game server all at the same time. Have lots of different channels of communication. Alright, let's try a few more. The other problem with these fields are, as you can see, that bale that's running away from us, it will keep on going until it's pretty much in line with those two that are lower down in the field. You can see, look at the angle of this field. So this whole map is set up like that. I really enjoy the map. It is well structured, whether you play it as a true survivalist map or if you're playing it as a like large format farming. This is almost a US style map where it's just these big open plains. But the big twist is that unless you're getting something in the middle of the map, the entire perimeter is very uneven and erratic, and there are little bumps and stuff all over the place. So it's a little bit more realistic than the wide open plain kind of approach that you get a lot with the US style maps. But I would say that it kind of is a much more accurate representation of what those fields actually look like. Go and have a look at a lot of the guys that do YouTube streaming, Cole the Corn Star and the Welkers and Millennial Farmer, and just to name a few. If you really go and look at their fields, and when they talk about their fields and actually physically go out into it, you'll see those fields are by no means, they're not square, they're not even. You know, these things where the corners of the maps are these perfect 90-degree angles, that's not the reality. That's not how it happens. So, yeah, I think this map, if you do it properly, is a much more, much cleaner view of what you're really going to see in the real world. I know I've been threatening for quite a while to go and do this, and it looks like it's going to be coming up soon. We have actually gone and looked at a physical farm, and all things being equal, we may very well be, working our own field soon. So my streams are going to diversify a little bit from being true in-game streams to being kind of a fiction versus reality kind of approach. So I'll have a stream once a week where I match what I'm physically doing on the ground with something that I'm doing in the game. Because of time frames and because of the size of equipment and that kind of thing, obviously they're not going to be that closely aligned. But just to give you an idea, one of the first tasks that I'm going to be doing on this new piece of land is I've got about 40 trees I need to go and cut down. And if gaming time is to be believed, that's half an hour's worth of work. But, I know that is probably going to take me an entire weekend to get that done. So I will go and do a little bit of live stream around, what's there and how we do it, and, just the fundamentals. And then what I'll do is I'll build a little bit of a time lapse that I will show in my next stream as to what I did the last week, and kind of give you that overview of all the fun stuff we're getting up to. But yeah, hopefully my name plays in my favor, and being the weatherman, I can get the best possible weather conditions and make sure that everything can grow as I want. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. So I hope you guys join me on this journey, because it is a lifelong kind of passion that I've been trying to get into. And the more support I can get from my followers, the more, I suppose, validation. The more I can gauge whether I'm being successful as a general kind of thing versus what I'm trying to achieve. What I think is a success versus what really is, and what you guys as my followers might see as a success could very well be very different approaches. But either way, looking forward to it, hoping to get an answer in the new week as to whether this is going ahead or not. If it does, probably as soon as next weekend, you should see some activity. The fun thing, though, is the place we're going to, someone has moved in to this vacant piece of land, and they've built an MX track. So we need to go and flatten all of that, but I'm thinking maybe it might not be a bad idea to turn the MX part of the track that is on my land, into a 4x4 track just temporarily, and maybe we can go and have a little bit of fun with that first. Let's see. If that happens, then we'll live stream that as well. Maybe do like a half an hour lap of the track. Okay, if we're going to do corn, I want to go and see what corn straw is worth. Okay, so corn straw, 226 versus 252 versus 249. That's not bad. It's kind of on par. So I'm going to go do the corn with this field. 788. It's got a lot more yield than soybeans and canola and that kind of thing, but it's a lot more to transport. It's a lot more to manage. So I think I got 110,000 liters of canola off these fields. I think that I'd probably fill that silage, that storage bin over there, and probably need maybe another 50 or 80,000 liters um, to go and fill that. So we'll find that out when we get to that point. I'll go and do a little bit of maths and work it out. And once we get there, I'll show you guys how it all operated. I do intend to switch over to Bessie Beneath for the second half of the stream. I don't want to go and skip that. There is work that needs to be done there, and I'm pretty certain my animals need a little bit of love and attention. I have not touched Bessie Beneath since the last stream, purely because we're at that stage now where there's not a lot to be done on Bessie Beneath, and I don't need to do work in between to kind of keep things maintained. So I am looking to jump onto that map only when I'm streaming, with the exception of Tuesdays, where, because I'm streaming the Lost in a Foreign Land series, I will go and do the Bessie Beneath stuff, in the background, just to make sure that, because it's seasons, we've got the 2-day window, we don't want to lose any animals of that period. So, it keeps it contiguous. I never really got guidance steering. I didn't understand how it worked, and I couldn't be bothered with it. Well, I wasn't bothered by it until a couple of days ago, when I kind of was forced to use it, because this map doesn't have Courseplay. It doesn't have auto drive or anything like that, which I'm fine with. I find those two mods are a little bit of a cheat. Auto drive maybe not as much, because it's kind of hiring someone to just move your stock from one point to another, and you can set it to pay for that, so it's not a complete cheat. But Courseplay, on the other hand, you can actually put a worker on to go and do a complex job, and make money off it, like by doing contracts and that kind of thing. And yeah, I understand why a lot of people don't put that on. So I never needed to use guidance steering, but now that I am starting to use the system a little bit more and starting to get a bit better understanding of what's going on, I find that guidance steering is actually brilliant. It's a really, really good solution. It works well, and I'm going to use it a lot more actively. If you look at these fields, how I've built these fields, they are very straight lined, and that is guidance steering that's done that. Barring the little bits that I did manually, this whole strip here, the 21, 31, 41, I put guidance steering on, and I basically let it run, and in the background I was looking at other things that I was doing on the farm. I couldn't switch vehicles, you still have to be in the vehicle, but I could take care of other things, like making sure that money is moved around and accounts are paid and all that kind of thing. And I was in fact streaming on my radio station on Thursday night while I was doing this. So it set it to run. It takes about 5 minutes to go from end to end. I would carry on, do what I have to do, and then come back and just jump on and carry on with life. And it worked really, really well. So I'm starting to really enjoy guidance steering, especially if you've got very uneven ground. The fields that I've got there, that ground is so diverse. What happens is the angles pick up from being a kind of a 5-degree south to north kind of angle, and it goes from being 0 degrees north to south and maybe have 20 degrees east to west. So you go completely from going uphill to driving on the side of the hill in a matter of a couple of 100 meters. So it does flip you around a little bit, which is quite exciting, but it's part of the game. All right, so let's just carry on with this fella. I just want to pick up this bit over here, get that all done, and then go and sell all of this, go and plow these pieces in the middle over here, and then get a planter and go and stick in corn. And I want to salvage a little bit more of that land at the top there. I also need to I need to get a cultivator as well, and I also need to get I need to level this ground. If you look at those fences on that side, because it's got quite a steep drop. It gives you an idea of how steep the ground is actually. I need to go and level those out because it does cause a little bit of an issue with the planters. So I'm going to lose maybe 2 or 3 meters from the edge because I'm going to salvage that all and make that part of my road. So make the road a bit broader. While I'm doing all of that, I've got to go and make this yard at the back a little bit bigger, and then I've got to go and plow all the land on that side before the grass grows again. Otherwise, I go and mow the grass so I don't lose that value. So it's a bit of a vicious cycle. If I don't do it quickly enough, then it's not worth doing it yet. But once it's done, I then have the ability that I can put a worker in to go and mow the lawns for me, which does go and improve that process again. So, and that big M unit that's there, I'm going to look at buying one of those in the near future. I've got the baler already, and once all the fields are plowed, I can actually just put it in and let it run, and it'll do that entire field for me without me needing to do anything. It is not a cheat per se because it is a worker, it is in-game. I'm not using a mod to do anything special, but I can do that entire 21, 31, 41 strip once it's plowed all the way across without needing to go and sit there and do all that work. And then all I do is I just run a trailer out behind it and load everything up and go. So makes it nice and quick and easy. Because of the volume of the bales, we have made a decision to go with an auto loader. But beyond that, the mods are generally pretty restrictive. They don't go and give a lot of access that they shouldn't. There are things like extra bale types, which you do get naturally anyway. So it's just the ability to actually use more of the straw than what the normal game does. And then the bale size is probably the biggest thing that is, I don't know, changes the behavior of the game. We've got a few things like the windmills over there. One of those windmills is mine. It brings in $500 an hour. I'm in fact going to go and sell it. It served its purpose. It helped me get off the ground. So now I can actually go and flog it and go back to actually just making money off the fields like I should. Grass, however, based on the size of the fields, despite canola and all of those things making a lot of money, grass still seems to be the most profitable crop to actually have in place. You because you don't need to reseed or anything like that. It just gives you good money for very little any investment, whether it be time or seeds or equipment. You can just carry on with life as is. But I think I've harvested probably about $750,000 in grass and bought all of that equipment you're seeing this side of the road. On the other side is another farm. So I've got 3 tractors, I've got the harvester, I've got spreaders and plows and balers and all of that equipment, and that stuff altogether was probably 8 or 900,000. And I've bought all the fields that are here, so each field here is 85,000. So 340, 425, if my maths is right, 425,000 in fields. So I've spent a lot of money and I've made a lot of money. I did start minus 300,000 and I am now on minus 500. So pretty much the money I got on my account, 40,000 difference, and a spend of, I would say, about 1.2 million over this time. So if I had to just go and sell everything, I'd kind of make my money back, and I would be quite clearly in the black. Okay. Right, just excuse me for a bit. I'm just doing a little bit of unashamed self promotion and getting my stream out there to a few people. Hoping we can get a little bit of traction. As much as we're affiliate now, the idea is definitely to get to a point where we want to be we definitely want to get to the point where we get to a partner level. It takes time, it is a bit of a process, but it's definitely something we want to do and want to get to. The other thing is, I'd love to see anybody's input. I want to get, I want to start doing things like building the stream in the sense that I want to diversify the games a little bit. Will always be Farming Simulator orientated, but I want to start streaming things like Flight Simulator, ETS2, ATS maybe a little bit, but I also want to do some stuff that's a little bit more impactful and a little bit faster paced. So I want to look at maybe I don't know, World of Warships is maybe an option. Yes, it's not that intense FPS. That is not really a space I'm really built for, but it is still a nice intense game. Also going to be looking at streaming a lot more FSL, so the actual competitions that we're doing, training, that type of thing. We did have scheduled some days this week for it, but unfortunately things didn't quite work out the way we wanted them to. So let's go and fix a fence. Okay, let's do a little bit of engineering. Why would it let me do that? Cannot be terraformed yet. Why can't I terraform there? Maybe I should just sacrifice it and just stick with what I got. I think maybe that's an approach. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Maybe just ignore that piece of land there. It's going to be an expensive exercise. And that little bit of a bump doesn't matter to us. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, we'll go and clean that up. We'll plow that out. And the fences are not an issue. And the fences are purely when we work on these fields on the side here, the bells just run away. And we have crop destruction enabled. And then you can't exactly run off into the field and go, well, I'm chasing my bale and try and go and capture the thing again. So it is just a little bit of a tedious pain in the ass, but we'll fix it. So now that I own that field going all the way down, I'm actually going to make this road go all the way up to the end of my next field. And I'm very interested in buying the next field up. I don't know if it actually has any value in doing that, but we'll see. This angle of this ground makes it very difficult to catch this right. See, I don't have my usual suspects online tonight. Hopefully we catch the guys in the week again. For the regular guys that don't really chat, welcome. I'm glad to have you here, even if you're not saying a word. You guys are welcome to just watch. Any kind of input is also welcomed. You know, the more you say, the more I can make it something you can enjoy and worth your while to spend your time with me. I appreciate everybody's precious minutes that come in and join me. I'll have to go and fix that a little bit. Okay. Almost there. Oh, sure. That's still a long way to go. While I'm here with the road that I'm painting, man, that's a lot of money I've spent so far. It's the weirdest thing. Okay, so if we go look around here, that's the terrain that I'm looking at. Look how steep that is, and then it goes over. Anything beyond, field 12 is a waste. But field 12 itself, as much as it climbs the hill, it's not really such a bad spot. Field 11, however, is way too steep. It's just not worth it. But there's a lot of grass out the back here, so maybe something we can look at. Let's go take something that will allow us to be a little bit more. Wow, have a bale. That's impressive, guys. Okay, so but what these guys do is they just bale and bale and bale and bale, and then go afterwards and pick up. I run a bale trailer next to my baler, and I pick up all those bales, and as soon as it's full, I go and sell it off. I have been looking at price management, but I haven't paid too much attention to it. If I held on to my bales a little bit longer, I could probably get an extra maybe 5% off it. But I've been lucky so far that the prices I've been selling for, with one exception when I was kind of desperate for the money, has generally been pretty good. Alright, so that's my field, and I own that open field at the top there, but the one next to it I don't, and I am thinking of possibly buying it, but that's steep. That's very steep. That's almost impossible to farm on. This one, however, it's not too bad. That's it, only really the crest of the mountain, so probably about here is where it ends. But let's not be greedy. Let's stick with what we got, stick with what we know, and we're going to go pick up some bales and go and sell another load of canola and some more bales, and then go and pick up a cultivator and a planter and come back and get those two jobs sorted out. And then once those jobs are on their way, they can be run by workers. Oh, how's that for timing? Needed some fuel. I normally don't buy a fuel trailer, but I don't regret buying this one. I've used almost a full load already. The modded tractors that we've got here are great, but they are a little bit they have got pretty small tanks. Okay, so let's go and have a look. You can stay there. You're good. Just want to make sure it's not running. That's fine. Okay, so let's go pick up a few bales. Maybe we can get maybe 15 bales. I don't know how many we're going to have opportunity at. So, that's almost perfect. Look, the effect of the fence is not affecting the field. So I've lost a little bit of field, but it's not too serious. And I'll just come and take the plow and pick up that piece over there. Okay, cool. So I said I wanted maybe 15 bales. Don't think I'm going to make that much. So 2, 4, 11. 11 20,000 litre bales. So that's what, 220,000 litres. And I've got one more bale on that side that I can go pick up. And I can pick up my silage bales and get them all stacked nicely at the same time. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, this guy, no, he doesn't. This guy has the ability to attach forks, but I don't think I have a bale fork. I've got a bucket. But for now, that's all I need. All we want to do is push that one bale out of here so it can be picked up by that trailer. Then we'll unload them all into a nice stack, and then can pick up all the silage bales. There we go. Let's see if I can get this right. Go, you can go, boy. Things like this are definitely so much easier having the right equipment. If I can keep on rolling this out like this, I just have to get close enough that I can't accidentally pick up the other bales. There we go. Bob's your auntie. So if I look at these bales, 12 bales, and are we really to put them that they're not going to run away from me? So if I go and take these 12 bales and I go and maybe open up this field over here, I've spent enough money on this already anyway. So let's go and have a look quickly. Doesn't like having vehicles in the way. Okay, let's make this a bit smaller. There we go. So we've got a widened field cutting all the way to the edge. That's fine. So I don't have to plow that. I've got that little piece in the middle I need to plow, a piece across the bottom that I have to plow. I've made the road a little bit wider, so that picks up a bit better. So let's go and have a look at what we can get for our bales. So silage, we've got canola bales. So those are worth 250 a bale. And silage bales are worth 252 in different locations. So it's not worth our while to go and try and load them all together. It's going to be a lot less time wasted trying to just load those up. 225, 252. So that's not a really great price. I can wait for that, and I don't need the money right now. We've got enough money. So let's go and see about buying a cultivator. So I've got a 199 kilowatt vehicle that I can use. So this is a 6-meter cultivator. If I had the tractor for that, I would take that in a heartbeat. So 106, no, that's a seeding. Can't really seed what we wanted to seed anyway. 3 meters. 6 meters. Oh, this one works in the front, so you can cultivate and you can plant at the same time. So I don't have a planter, so I can get a planter that's 6 meters wide. Then those two can work together. There we go. It fertilizes and it plants soybeans, which I'm doing, corn, sunflower, beet, and cotton. So it kind of has a wide enough range for us. 692 liters though is pretty small. So let's have a look, and we can put the FH. No, we can't because we got the cultivator on the front, so we can't have an extended tank. These are just too wide. So we're either going to have to run with a smaller tank and cultivate and plant at the same time, or we run with the extended tank, which gives us an extra 2,200 liters. So that puts us at 2.9, just shy of 2.9. But then we're going to run two tractors. We're going to run a cultivator, and then we're going to run the seeders. So we're going to either, if we take this 30,000 unit over here, and we take I think it's the auger wagons. Yeah, we get the Stara Ninja, and we run that next to that. We can go with the seed runner as well. It's a bit cheaper, 8,000 liters. That's more than enough. We don't need 19,000, 18,000 liters, and this can do pretty much all the seeds we need. And we can pull up next to that unit and just keep it open. Is this a 8,000 liters for 20 grand, and this one is 8.5 for 8,300 liters. Let's go with the mod. That is an auger wagon. It can do seed and it can do the different grains. So these are all pretty much the same. Yeah, I think I'm going to take this unit over here. If that's the case, then I can maybe take another tractor. Do I need it? Let's go. See, this device over here can hook another trailer behind it, so I can go drop this off and pick that up. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 bales. So we've got 25 bales. So do I go and sell the bales, or do I keep them? If I keep them, I'm going to have to find myself a better place to stack them. I can't put them here on the edge of his field because he's going to knock them over, no doubt. Let's go and have a look at... Yeah, that's the way we're going to go. And we've got a plow, so we're going to go fix those little islands quickly. So before we go and drop this all off, go and get the plow, go get the cultivator, and go and get the planter. And we should have enough money for all of those components. Last thing about this auto load trailer is gives me the ability to offload at the designated point. There we go, nice and neat. And then we just go and put you to load. And we're just going to load all of these bales. I'm going to have a little bit of difficulty getting through here, but we'll be fine. My yard is a mess at the moment. I do acknowledge that, but I've been more worried about getting money in than how pretty it is. So the reason why I extended my field is I want to go and put, I didn't extend it enough. I want to go and put a shed on this side of the field. Because our fields are so big, we can afford to drop a little bit, yeah? Yeah, make it look a little bit prettier. Okay, so we just do an easy shed. It will allow us to drive through the shed onto the fields. It's not going to affect it will affect the fields. I need to actually drop the fields back even further. Unless we take a smaller shed and bring it up against this side like this. So maybe put it over there. Then we can park all those vehicles in there. Yeah, I think that'll work. Let's just get rid of all this equipment. So the goal is to have 2 sheds. One is going to be pretty much where we are now, and the other one's going to be or motorized vehicles in the other one, and I will look at possibly having some kind of a bale shed that goes with that, so that we make sure that we have, you know, the best coverage we can without using up too much of our farm. Even though our farm is enormous, you know, you don't want to waste space. We'll have things like the Thunder Creek trailer will be at the edge, so you don't have to go and pull it out. You could actually just pull up next to it, and it would serve the purpose just fine. A seed, I'm just going to push out the way for now. When we get our planter, we're going to reseed with that, and the auger wagon is going to load up that seed anyway. So let's just do this. Righty, you're fine, and this can just go, maybe even have 3 sheds. One on this back wall over here, and then I can sell all these lights that I put in. Come and take part and tell me what you'd like to see. If you got something you want me to add, you want to see, I'm happy to go and do it. Alrighty, so watch this little tractor. This is a 13 shank Rovik Lears plow. It is a beast. I'm going to lift it. Right, so if I put it down, it's fine, but obviously it's going to plow the land. I haven't got it set to create fields, so it's not serious. But if I go now and I lift it, look at what my little tractor does. It's fun things like these that, you know, make us waste a lot of time. Alrighty, it's about time for all the marketing blurb. We have got a competition on. If you go and subscribe, follow us on the channel, follow us on Twitter, there's a few things you can do. It all gives you entries into the competition, and that competition does give you access to winning a Alpine Farming DLC when it gets released. So it'll be a pre-order essentially that will be coming through Giants themselves, so it will not be a Steam key or any other platform. It does make it independent, which is pretty neat. Then go and check out the Join MGN crew, a multi-gaming network. Really awesome bunch of guys, really nice platform to play on, so some decent servers, well maintained. There's quite a few administrators in place. Allows you to go and have a little bit of fun while having some guys that you can chat to. You can learn a few things from the game. The amount of stuff I've learned from the guys is quite impressive. Learn something new every day. And then last but not least, go check out truckstopradio.co.uk. It is available in stream if you go to your radio station. So I believe if you press 5 and you press 6 a couple of times, I think it's about the 5th or 6th one. I cannot play it in stream for any extended time period because there are licensing issues, but you can go and listen to it yourself. I think it's after Hive, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, anytime you're ready. There's some channels that don't seem to work. Okay, either way, they are available. Captain S.A. Vian. Awesome. Thanks for joining me. I'm catching more and more South African followers and streamers and that kind of thing that are connecting to my channel. That is awesome. I don't know if you're aware, but there is actually a Africa series FSL coming up. And you can hit me up and I can give you the details on it. It is really looking to be a lot of fun. There's a Pilgrim's Rest. If you give me a second, I just want to check if I can do screen capture. I won't do a screen capture. Just give me 1 second. I always encourage you guys to use the actual Farming Simulator mod hub. There are a lot of other mod hubs available, but the Farming Simulator mod hub is kind of approved by Giants. It goes through quite a rigorous testing program, so you don't have rubbish mods that are coming through. Definitely not mocking the other guys, just it is a safer way to play. So there's a Pilgrim's Rest mod that is available. I think you can get it on mods LS19. I think it is available in game. I'm just trying to get the link for you. Okay, so thank you, appreciate it. Okay, so I'm just having the mods quickly. I'll send you the link now. Unfortunately not on the mod hub, but I'll give you the link to the other site where I got it. It's quite a decent map. It's kind of representative of the reality that's going on there. You might want to go and just keep an eye on it to make sure that you keep up to date, to make sure that you're getting the latest version of the map. Here we go. Just a mod that's not on the FS mod hub, like this one that I've just posted through now. You will not get it in game because you cannot load your own mods if you're playing on console, so PS or Xbox. However, if you look at this Rovik Lears plow that I've got, this is a South African built in real life, and then also South African built by the modder. So I think the modder is Steenkamp Modding, and they did this Rovik Lears. They got a whole series of plows that they've built. Let me just go FS19. And without saying too much, in fact, the Rovik Lears gang are potentially going to be part of the equation with our new competition that's coming online in terms of the Farming Simulator League. It is not the league itself, but it's the kind of a South African spin-off of it, and it may very well be that we'll have the guys jumping in and joining us as a potential sponsor. We're just lacing up a few things at the moment, but it does look like it's going to be pretty solid. This is available in game, so go check it out. You'd be able to go to the mod hub on your Xbox, and you'd be able to download the Rovik Lears plow pack or the DLB 19 pack. Alrighty, so enough for that. Just want to get this out of the way, then I can start putting my sheds down. The economy on this map is set to normal, but the yields on the fields are kind of ridiculous. They are way overpriced. So if I look now, I've harvested this field. Basically all the yellow you can see there is what I've harvested. So it's essentially 2 of the fields, and I think they are I stand corrected. Let me just check on the guy next door. They are about 7 hectares apiece. So basically 14 hectares less a little bit for my homestead over here. 14 hectares, and I've harvested 110,000 liters. So I've already sold 63,000, so it's 105 and change. And that whole lot will make net for me with the bales that I've done probably in the region of about 350,000. If I do grass, the grass is even more ridiculous. So the economy is a little bit skewed on this map. Alright, so do I go with the small shed and place it kind of on the end of the field here? Okay, so it's colliding with that fella over there. Let's just run you back. And I'm going to take that fence away as well. Now I'm looking at this, I'm thinking this fence idea maybe wasn't a great one. It kind of means to an end, but I don't think it's working so great. So let's get rid of all of this stuff. Just gotta wait for a person to sink in. So yeah, Captain, I started playing FS 15, not so much at that stage. It was still just kind of, it's just curious what this farming game is all about. Having spent time in an agricultural school and kind of growing up around that type of thing, it was, like a natural curiosity. And yeah, I had quite a bad bike accident and it put me on my back for a while, and it's still a persistent kind of a problem. So as a pain management tool, interestingly enough, I'll play FS, whether it's 17 or 19, and it's a way of just kind of forgetting about everything around me and being able to focus on a lot but nothing at the same time. So it's a really cool game. I've really enjoyed. I've got probably in the region of about 4,000 hours, give or take a bit, across all the different platforms that I've used. But over and above that, it is something that it can be extremely entertaining and kind of really capture you, and it also can just be something that's mind-numbing and just allows you to blow away a whole lot of time. So it's probably one of the most diverse games I've ever played in terms of that. You're going to play your Battlefields and your Call of Duties and that kind of thing. It's intense from when you begin to when you end, and that is absolutely brilliant if that's what you want to do. You get a lot of other games, a lot more strategic, so it's very slow and kind of build up over a period of time, and there isn't really this peak that you hit. Whereas this, you can do nothing for a period of time, and then all of a sudden have so much to do that you cannot get to everything because it's just too busy, and that definitely makes it interesting. Okay, so I want to get rid of these lights because as much as the idea was great, they are proving to be in my way. I'll leave one light. Alrighty, so let's go and have a look about putting down a shed. Why are you kind of persisting and giving me a hard time? What is it colliding with? That doesn't make any sense. Okay. So we lose the minimum, but we still need to drive through there, so I can't close that down because I don't know what's going to happen in terms of crops. We may go for something that we might go for a crop on that side of the field and move away from grass. So we're going to sacrifice a little bit more ground at the back, but I think this is a good fit. It gives me enough space to get through here with a harvester, even if I get something with a much wider blade, which is great. Just allows me to park my vehicles and make them look a lot neater than what they were. And yeah, I'm quite happy with that. It works. Should probably take the blade off, but it fits okay. Let's just move you out a little bit. Oh, wrong component to be closing. There we go. This is one of those drawn headers. I'm being an idiot. I want to go and get a corner header, so I parked it all nicely. Okay, so we'll come and clean this all up. Let's go and sell some bales. I normally don't bother about how it looks and feels, but I'm actually quite getting into it. It makes a difference. You know, intending to go and operate a proper farm, maybe it's just one of those things, just getting used to the idea of packing things properly. It does make sense. Shouting out that the guys are shouting out that the bale prices are a little bit terrible still, so the silage bales that I've got on that trailer now, I'm not going to go and sell them. I'm going to stick with go and sell the canola bales that I've got on the ground. You know, if it comes in at a reasonable price, maybe I just toss all of that, go and sell my canola itself. I'll make 100,000 or so off the deal, and then maybe just go with what's there and keep the rest of the bales. How far are we on this? It's still green. We got to go and harvest that as well, or mow that. And the other thing I'm going to do is change out my buckets. I know this will seem a little bit counterproductive, but this is going to be parked right up against the edge here. Come, a little bit of traction there, tractor. You can do it. Okay, so I can still get an implement. Just buy another harvester and you don't need to move the other. Yeah, if I had the bucks for it, dude, I would definitely do it. Did you know that you can bale on the back of the harvester? If you've got the mods in place, yes. If you've got, like, this harvester does not have a hook that is comes out far enough. So there is a attachment there, but it's too far. It doesn't connect. You do get some mods that actually have quite a long arm that comes out the back, and then you can do that without a problem. So yeah, I know you can, but on the base game you can't. And this is, as much as there are some mods on this game, it is pretty much mod light, if you can put it that way. So we've got things like additional bales and that type of thing in. I often do that with, I've got a John Deere S790 mod that I like using because it's quite high capacity, and it's still fairly realistic because that does exist in real life with the extended bucket, but it's got a really long arm that comes out the back, and if you go with a baler that has got a wide pickup like the Kun baler that I've got here, it kind of runs off a little bit off to the side, but it can pick up all of that grain that you're trying to deal with, or straw at least, and it will run through and just pick everything up. And if you've got a worker on there, if you're lucky enough and it doesn't flip out on you, it'll actually stop, wrap the bale, and then drop the bale if it's something that's wrappable. If it's not wrappable, it'll pause long enough for it to drop off, kind of bundle the bale and then drop it off. Square bales obviously don't have that issue, it just runs and drops as you go. But round bales, which I've actually come to prefer over the last while, they just seem to work better in that space. Let's just get rid of all of these guys here. Okay, so what are we going to do with you? Where are we going to put these bales? Well, let's just put them next to everything. Okay, so let's see. I don't think we've got anything in terms of bale storage. The hayloft's there, but that's not going to help us very much. No, we can put in an additional grain silo extension, which gives us another 100,000 liters. When we're doing corn, we might need to do that. And then also we have the small BGA. I don't know what the BGA value is in terms of the pricing you get. I don't know what it would be based on. I'm assuming it would be on the currency in the game, but what exactly? Let's ask. Because I'm doing silage, I can just get the small BJ. So let's see, if we stick in a small BGA here, maybe this section over here that we're having a problem with, and we need bale forks in. Grab a small BGA, stick everything in there, and at midnight it'll pay out, which is not too far away. I'm going to see where we're going to put that BGA. Okay, let's go and have a look at that. Small BGA. Got the digestate extension tank that we can also do. It's quite big, this. Maybe we take this top end of the field and just run. Just toss this whole top of the field and just plow further down. We've got the ground. You don't want to condense everything into one little space, so maybe this is a better idea. Yeah, look, I don't control what mods get put in. I can make suggestions, and I'm thinking that's probably not a bad idea to go and get that mod put in place. I'm not going to take the whole field. I'll leave the other side open and then just do this. That'll do. Yeah, that'll do just fine. Then I've got this whole piece of ground available to me for doing whatever. Yeah, look, I don't control what mods get put in. I can make suggestions. I'm thinking that's probably not a bad idea to go and get that mod. Okay, so I'm going to salvage a little bit more of the bottom end here. So we're not trying to make vehicles turn around into the back of the storage shed, and that way we get more efficient use of our space. There we go. What do you think of that? That looks good. So I've got my VGA in place, and got all the silage bales that are ready to go here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take these silage bales, and 13 bales, that gives me 260,000 liters that I can drop off, and let's see what money they make for us. 260,000 liters, if we take a normal calculation, let's just do this. 260,000 liters times a reasonable price. This is worth 91,000 to us. Let's see how much this gives us in the morning. Is that going to work? Yeah, that didn't work so great. I'll just pull that up closer. That should just take all of that stuff. There's basically 4 bales that I'm not seeing now. Oh, come on. Captain, just to answer your question from a little bit earlier on about South African maps, we are also looking to develop our own map. It is a fictional map, so it's not going to be a South African location, but it will be based on almost South African principles, if you can put it that way, you know, where it's the more semi-urban kind of farming style, where it's the fields are not very big and you have your town areas and everything right there in it. Okay, so now I don't know if this has accepted these bales or if they're sitting underneath the surface here somewhere. It probably has a limit to how much we can load at a time. So let's have a look. If it only does a little bit at a time, then it's a waste. Then I want to be able to dump all my bales in one go. There. Okay, so it's sitting at 80,000. So that's the cap. Alright, so there is a cap, 80,000. That means 4 bales. That's 4 that are missing, which is cool. But we can do a little bit of a trick here. If we go and say, put those bales in there, they'll sit there and they won't go anywhere, and we'll still get the benefit of our bales. So if we look now and we go and say, where are we going? Righty, so we are, I'm all over the place with this. Let's go and have a look at Canola 224. It's not worth it. You can get a lot more for those bales. So I'm just going to sit tight on those bales. I'm going to sit tight on those bales. I'm going to go and sell my canola so I get a nice cash injection. I need to go and bring back the corn head I'll get once the crop's ready to roll. I need to bring back planters. I need to bring back the cultivator, and fortunately the guy next door, he's got all the seeds and stuff, so I can just leave that as is. So clean up in the field can happen once all of this is in progress. So you can go and park there for now, and let's go and take you for a drive. 63,000 litres of canola. And who's going to give us the best price for that? $1,304. Wow, price is just okay. He's been doing cotton like a madman. Okay, 1,304 and 63. This is 82,000 on the canola. I still got 40,000 left of this, so I'll do about 140,000, give or take a little bit in total, if I had to go and sell everything at the price that I've got it at now. And the bales that I've made, I'm probably making a similar kind of number for all the bales. So canola with the additional bales on it, we are doing we're doing quite a nice yield on this. Give or take a little bit, about 220, 240. I haven't actually sat down and done the maths, and I haven't really been adding the numbers together, but the last load I took, I got 176,000 for the canola straw at 20,000 litre bales. The yield on that straw is just incredible. Let's see if I can flip my trailer. Ah man, I was hoping to get that last trailer in before it cut the amount. Okay, 81,000. I said 83, I think it was. Okay, that's cool. 81,000. So 63,000 litre trailer convoy is working. I can hitch something on the back here, but I want to get... No, let's do it. Let's see if it allows us to take it. We want a planter, and we want a cultivator. Somebody left some seeds behind. With any luck, I should park right in front of that harvester. Okay, so, or planter at least. So, it's a nice chunk of cash we got. Alright. We want a planter. So we said we're going to go with the Tempo V8, which is a bit smaller, but we'll get the seed tender that goes with it. So we'll do that. And then we've got the exact same width cultivator that goes off the front of that unit. And then we also want to get the auger wagon. We said we wanted to get the seed runner. No, we were going to go with the lizard. Here, that'll do. I don't normally change the colors, but damn, those are ugly. Let's go with grey. Yeah, I'd rather take Ferguson grey than the other options. Oh, so close. And I think that needs a 3-point linkage. Yeah, it needs a 3-point linkage. So that guy I can go and pick up. That I can pick up. And then I'll just reset the tractor. Bring it back this way. Okay, so let's just take you. I can use this to run around and move all the stuff that I need. Take that a little bit further forward later. This is probably going to be too heavy for my little tractor, but we'll find out soon enough. Yeah, this little tractor is not handling too well for that. And it's got no weights in the front either. Actually, we should reset the forks, because let's see if I can get to this in a reasonable time period. I'm wondering if I shouldn't just buy another one. Yeah, just buy another one. And it's got no weights in the front either. Okay, so let's buy another one. Oh, shouting at everybody. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go and buy this. Do want to look at maybe changing all my colors. Yeah, we'll change colors later. Get a workshop and go and change everything. Bale spike. Okay. Okay, so that's the battle spike sorted out, and then I can just get this trailer in a little bit closer. I just use the bell spike to push it across. There we go. And then I can take the harrow on the back of this, and that can take the planter on the front. Talk about using everything you can get. Okay, let's first see if this works. It worked. Okay, so this big fella over here. This is going to be fun reversing all these trailers without jackknifing the whole pile. Yep, there we go. Let's do that. Alrighty. That worked out pretty well. Then I can just go and pick up this. I switched it off. This harrow, this cultivator over here, and go from there. Am I on the right side? I hope. Hope my little tractor can handle the load. Yeah, it's not doing too badly. Now the problem with this cultivator is you have to have it on the front of the vehicle. It won't work if attached to the rear. Maybe I didn't have enough horsepower when I was running it. Let's just see. Let's go and have a little bit of fun at the same time. MGN. Convoy. Alrighty, so I'm going to get this back to the field. I'm going to get my planter running, and I'm then going to go and have a look at who we could possibly raid. What's going on here? There we go. So we've got a planter, 63k storage, plus seed tender, plus it is the cultivator. Sorry about the whipping back and forth. I lose focus on the screen that I'm on. Then my mouse goes across to my second screen and it gets really, really tricky. I tend to click on things I shouldn't, and I start launching programs in areas where I should just not be doing anything. Okay, so I'm going to come back and use you there, and you can stay there. Then my trailers I can start closing these up actually. You can drop there. And these three fellas over here can just stay over there. Alrighty. Now the problem is, this is my big tractor that I use for the cultivating and the seeding, planting, but it's also the tractor I use for the mowing. So I wonder if I shouldn't just buy another big tractor. I think that was about 100k. I spend so much on other stuff now, maybe I should just split the roles. Let's see, what do we need in terms of power? So that big guy need 191 kilowatts. This one over here, I've got 192, so I'm clear. And it was to sell 103,000, so I think it was about 160,000 originally. Now for that needs 103, and that needs 110. Now I've got enough tractors to be able to run these separately. Maybe I should do exactly that. Run them separately and just go and plow. Yeah, I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. Let's have a look if I was wrong with this, because I seem to remember these only do forward. They only cultivate when they're facing forward. If it doesn't, I'll just drop the cultivator right now. Nope. Yeah, it only does it the other way around. So if I reverse, it works. Okay, that's fine. I've got a tractor that's got a front hitch. That is one of the other ones. And it can just go and do its thing. And then this tractor that I've got here, I can use to torque the planter. And then the seed tender I'll go and get sorted out with this big guy. Problem is, I've got a seed tender, but I don't have fertilizer in here. It's going to fill with what we got. I've got to see how quickly this runs out. Okay, 560 liters, that's not a hell of a lot. Oh no, that's seed, idiot. Fertilizer is 136 liters of fertilizer. That is nothing. Alright, so I've got these two smaller tractors. Maybe what I should do is get myself another tractor that has a front 3-point attacher, and it has the rear. Let's kind of have a look. Medium tractors. I've got the torpedo, which I think we can fit with. No, we're going to do a front attach. No, the torpedo is not an option, but I've got the Fiat Agri, which I can do with you need to go to bed. Smaller tractors. Maybe what I should do is get myself another tractor that has a front 3-point attacher and good night. Alright, so we've got the Fiat that we can put in that can take front and rear, and it's 132 kilowatt as well, so it's pretty decent. Can do a front attacher on it. Okay, so does that look like the right wheel is bigger than the left? I swear it does. Okay, so if we go for a variable rear track, and go for the variable total with wide tires, 39,000, that's nothing. We can put a GPS on here as well, still be okay. And I like the forestry version of it. I know it's 3.5 grand more, but kind of pointless. Doesn't do anything. It's just look and feel. So I'm not going to put GPS on that because that's a bit of a waste of money. But we're going to take this guy over here. Jess, hey, how you doing? Get a forklift and leave it on the dealership when it's saying you need it. I was thinking about that, but I'm close enough that I can actually just grab a vehicle and reset it. There's no penalty on this map to doing it. So I'm going to just warn the guys. By warn. And I'm going to get the Fiat with all the bits and bobs. Then I'm going to go with the front linkage, and I'm going to go with, I'm not going to do anything fancy there, no GPS, engine, doesn't matter. I do want that, and I do want that, so that's worth it. Okay, then we want to go and get the planter, we want to get the extended tank, so planters, there we go, and it was the Tempo V8 that I took, so I'm going to take the FH2200. That gives me the extension on that, and then I'm pretty good. This can drop. I won't use this tractor at all, for this job at least. This tractor over here will, I'm just going to attach it to the front straight away. I've used these Fiat Agris extensively. They're really good tractors. In real life and in game. I actually rebuilt an old Fiat, quite an old fella. It was like a 1965 or something like that. It was bright, solid orange kind of color. They are so freaking obnoxious when they come down the road, but man, they were good tractors. They just operated. They just didn't have issues. You think maybe he forgot to put his GPS off? Go Louis. Okay, so as much as you can direct attach that baler to the back of that machine, he's just mowed everything. But anyways, the pretty cool thing about that is you can attach that device, but if you've got follow me enabled and you've got a tractor running behind you, what it'll do is it'll actually go and drop the bales automatically as part of the process. So you now don't have a thing where you have to go and figure out, it takes time to drop bales and whatnot. It just does everything for you. So is this only seed? I wonder if you can do fertilizer in here only, because there's not much fertilizer at all. And maybe see if it'll give us the extra capacity. Doesn't look like it though. So I've now got thousands of liters of seed, but no fertilizer. I can always run the fertilizer afterwards. I'll run it without the fertilizer being in place. That's an option. But it's generally going to complain about it. Why are you not loading seed? That's interesting. Doesn't want to load any more seed. Maybe it's a little bit buggy. Okay, and then this fella that has got a front attach can go and do the cultivator, get that field cleared. And before I start that running, I'm going to go and plow that piece of field at the bottom. Okay, so you can stay there. You can go and get detached. I think I might need to go and get a weight. You can go and do your thing there. I'll just do a little bit of fertilizer in here, just enough, like 1,000 liters. And then you're going to go get the plow, and let's go and plow that piece of field. Nice. Alrighty, so I'm heading up for my 2-hour mark. I generally don't do streams beyond 2 hours, for no real reason beyond, it's a comfortable time. You know, an hour to 2 hours works. It means, you know, I don't have to take breaks in between. Yeah, okay, so we need a weight. I can probably get away with it without the weight once the blades are down, but that's not ideal. Okay, so I'll get a blade. I'll go with the other tractor and go fetch her. Go with another tractor and go and get like a 1,600 kilo weight or something. Alrighty, so that's quick and easy enough. It's handling it fine. Did I switch it off? Yep, that wasn't very bright. Okay, cool. So in a few minutes time I'm going to go see who's online and who we can go and harass, and we'll go and do a raid. There's a couple of guys that are online that we can grab. I have applied to become part of a team, so I generally try and raid the guys in that team. I was doing it even before I applied, so this is not trying to score points for the guys, but rather I like the streamers that are in that group, and I wouldn't have applied to be in that group if I didn't. So we're going to see if one of them are online. If they are, then we'll just go and jump into their stream and say how's it, and then be on our way. So I'm just going to look who's there so long. And alright, yeah. Can your map... Sorry, I don't understand, Captain. Can your map at any time I want? What, if you become part of the MGN group, or the map that I'm looking to build? So I'm going to give you an answer which I think is kind of in line with the question you're asking. So all the servers that I play on are 24/7 servers. The servers that I own and run, and the Join MGN or the MGN group, their servers are also 24/7. So I'm often on the server at 2 o'clock in the morning, and then I just do a quick checkup, at some odd hour during the day as well. So it's not hosted off someone's personal computer that when they're not there, that the thing doesn't work. These are 24/7 servers which you can access anytime you like, and it just makes it a lot easier. So I hope that answered your question. Alrighty, so this looks okay. Okay, you can go ahead and do your thing. I'm going to hang back with this until that's done a full pass. I'm going to park this in the way so that I know when it's done a full pass. So I'm going to basically stick this over here like that. When he gets to the end of this, it'll lock him, and then I'll know that I can go and hook it up. No, unfortunately not. This is not my map. This is a map that is part of the MGN group, and for you to be able to play on this map, you need to be a member. So you're welcome to join up and apply. They have a public server that they use to just kind of vet the guys, that they're not just coming in to be, trolls and that kind of thing. But that's normally a 2-week process, and then once you're done with that, you have access to all the servers that they have. I've got two servers that I'm active on. There's the Bessie Beneath that I've been doing, which I actually said I was going to do after this. I'll do it off stream. And then I've also got this map that I'm on. And then there's also, I think there's 2 other maps that are active. There's a public silage map, which you can jump on straight away. If you go into your maps and you go into international, you can jump onto the silage map there, search for MGN, and that map is available to anybody to jump in. There's no mods or anything on it. This is all PC based though. I know you play on Xbox. Unfortunately, because of the nature of how their structure is, it'll only work on PC. Yeah, but you're welcome to join. I don't think the hosted server is cross-platform. I've never actually tried it, come to think of it. So you can try with the Xbox, but I doubt you're going to get it to operate. And I'm wasting canola here. I need to go and clean that up. I'll go and grab my harvester and go pick it up, and then maybe the stuff at the end there's also done. Wow, did he go down there that quickly? Man, that is quick. That was done that whole length of that field. Nice. So I was worried about that being too slow, but it looks like it's not going to be an issue. On my personal servers though, I expect my alpha map to be available soon. I've already released the basic map. We've played a few games and I've gotten some feedback on it, so that's going to go back into design and make sure all those components are working. I'm hoping within the next 2 or 3 weeks I'll make that map publicly available. Like I said, that's the one that's not quite a South African map as much as it's just got like a South African flavor to it. It's not going to use any known landmarks or anything like that, so you're not going to go and see like Joburg or Potchefstroom or Bloemfontein or whatever area you're expecting to see. That's not going to happen. But maybe on a future map I'll go and take an actual map and work it out like that. Okay, so I'm not worried about that little bit of edge because there is an issue crossing over into the field next door, so if I cultivate too far across I could run into issues. But this is going nice and quick. I'm quite impressed at how fast that's running. Alrighty, 2 hours we have hit, so I'm going to go find one of the guys. I'm going to take you over to Scuba Doobie, and we're going to go and do a raid on there. It's cross-platform. Okay, yeah. Well, then the silage server you're about to get onto, but these maps that we've got here, they don't have mods that are on the mod hub, so you wouldn't be able to use that. Some of them do, so you could give it a try. I've never tried it with the Xbox. I do have the Xbox, but I've never played multiplayer on the Xbox. So let's go. Just make sure that I've got the right thing. He's been on for 3 hours 47 minutes already. Wow, that's quite a stretch. Let's see who else. Let's see who's online from that team. Okay, let's do that. Scuba Doobie it is. Alright. I'm going to take you into stream with Scuba Doobie. He is a really good streamer. Give him a follow. I hope you guys enjoy it. And this channel is intended for mature audiences. Okay, I don't know how that changed. All right, cool. So let's raid Scuba Doobie.
Next gen Intel CPUs had come out. Actually debating, like I said, Weatherman raiding with a party of 5? Let's go. Let's go. Weatherman, thank you for the raid. Can we get a shout out for Weatherman, please? If you guys haven't checked out Weatherman, make sure you do. I would appreciate it. Click that link, give him a follow. Make sure your notifications are turned on. Fellow farming sim community member. Fellow content creator. Make sure you show Weatherman some love.
All right, guys, that's
So
me.
far, so good, Weatherman. Again, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, welcome, raiders. Good to have you with us. Hope you're all having an enjoyable Saturday. I just realized you were right